Testing, testing. Ooh, that's dark.
I didn't quite catch your request.
Alright. That's me. I'm public. I'm streaming, so should be a matter of time until people I know arrive. Great. Oh, yo, Ty, you're the first one. Shit. Hey, man. So, yo, Ty, I am, like, really exhausted, so I'm just thinking I'm not going to do Alien tomorrow. I kind of just want to chat with you guys, if anything, tomorrow, and maybe have Genshin playing in the background. And Sarge, yeah, I'm about to look at the spoilers. I saw that there were spoilers on Manga Helpers. But yo, great. Hey, Poison. So don't tell me the spoilers. I'm about to look at Manga Helpers, see what they have. But yeah, Ty, I think I want to take a break from Alien tomorrow. But in exchange, I'm planning on watching 2 episodes of Arcane tomorrow, or 3. So we can chat about the first 3 episodes or so tomorrow. Make that fun. Oh, and Kayla's not sure how to feel about the spoilers. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, Death Ray's here too. Whoa, everyone's so excited. What's going on? Okay, I'm gonna go look at the spoilers. Let me see what I got. Alright. Wait, is the full thing here now? Oh no, I see something weird. Oh, suck it, All Might. Oh, Black Whip comes out fast. Alright, 1 second. Okay, so let me look at this real quick. Alright, so this is Google Translate. In the layer of the villains, Dobby comments that if the UA Academy students are perpetrator, they'll be in trouble. However, All For One tells him that it's not like that, since if Aoyama and his parent, it will be good. But if they fail, then they will have to look for other disposable tools. On the other hand, Aoyama, who's still crying, is being dragged away by his parents as they want to take him away. At that time, Aoyama remembers that his childhood was like, as he was raised with much by his parents. Then he thinks his parents must have suffered more than he did, as they listened to a rumor about a guy giving quirks. 1 second. Let me check the, let me check out Sushi's group real quick. Hey, Common. Oh, hey, Jason. Let me just check the Discord server. I'm trying to understand what's going on here. I like seeing All Might's face. I saw a picture of All Might's face looking so depressed, and I think, like, yeah, that's alright. 1 second. Just looking for that server. Oh, okay, no, there's significantly more leaks. Okay, so I'll just go through them. The chapter begins on the villain side with Dobby saying that if the other students, blah, blah, blah. If it's not, it's next man. They are nothing more than disposable tools. Cut to the forest, and the parents start to carry Aoyama, wanting to take him away from there. Meanwhile, he cries and remembers the past. Seems like there's a guy who's able to give quirks to other people. The quirk he received was not compatible with his body, but his parents did their best to provide an equipment that would help him use it. He was excited to start pursuing his dream, but that's when All For One started giving orders. All Might's going to become a teacher. Join UA. Let me know when the class will be isolated from the rest of the school. Tell me the location of the training camp. Now that Izuku Midori has returned, make him act on his own again. That's pretty lame, All For One. Like, how does he think that... Like, I don't think Aoyama is capable of that. Okay, so I'm not reading... I'm reading this bit by bit here. So if I see this here, let me know when the class will be isolated from the rest of the school. That's not the USJ situation. Like the specific issue of the roster. Like, that's not get me the information on who will be attending. It's just let me know when you're out of class. Aoyama then says that after reading the letter and discovering that Izuku was also quirkless, he fell into despair. He continues crying and tries to shoot a laser at Izuku, but Hagakure reflects it. She asks how would he feel if everyone had died and how he felt while in the classroom or in the dorms with everyone else. We can see a bit of her face and she is crying too. The parents try to go up and explain their side of the story, but Izuku restrains the 3 of them using Black Whip. He says that Hagakure acted so that he wouldn't hurt anyone else, so he asks him to stop this once and for all. Izuku is also crying. Cut to a classroom where Aoyama and his parents are tied to chairs in front of All Might, Tsukachi, Nezu, and the other teachers. They analyze the situation, estimating when the quirk must have been given to him, assuming that it must not have an explosion mechanism like Nagant's. He says that he would like the students to leave, and we see a panel showing all of them shocked, saying that they are not leaving. That's dumb. Get the kids out of there. Like, you don't need to listen to kids. Ojiro wonders what would have happened if Hagakure hadn't found out. Izuku would have shown up. And Kirishima screams in disbelief, asking Aoyama to say it's all a lie. Bako says that he didn't expect to meet another former quirkless guy who received the power from someone else. The world really is small. Not really, Japan is small. And Japan has, if you think about it, Japan has like the only 2 people that can actually give away quirks. The world's really small. Sukachi asked them to reveal everything they know about All For One, but the father says they don't know anything. They just received the quirk and were following orders. All For One even showed them corpses so they understand what would happen if they failed or lied to him. Aoyama then starts saying that because the classmates he might have to kill were so nice to him, he ended up acting that way and got closer to everyone. After reading Izuku's letter and finding out the truth about his quirk and his fight against All For One, he despaired at his own mystery. And then he despaired again when he realized the first thing he thought of was himself, not what it meant for Deku. He ends by saying that Yuga Aoyama is a villain with every fiber of his being, that even his soul is rotten. Izuku shouts that even if that was the case, he wouldn't have tried to save Tokoyami and Bakugo at the training camp. He also wouldn't have written the message with cheeses, which actually a SOS call that Izuku himself didn't realize at the time. He goes on to say that Aoyama is not crying now because he failed to obey All For One, but rather he does not want to betray his friends. He says that he met a hero who, even though she had her heart used by All For One, did not give up on helping other heroes to reach their goal. No one should be called the villain for the rest of their lives over a single crime. Izuku holds out his hand and asks Aoyama to take it. You can still become a hero. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, some of the rhetoric's a little bit like, I don't know. And I don't know, like, Izuku met, like, is he talking about Nagant? I mean, it's probably going to be important to see what the final wording is, but let me just go back here. He said he met a hero who, even though she had her heart used by All For One, did not give up on helping other heroes reach their goal. Izuku, she tried to shoot you. The only reason you don't have a hole in your stomach is because this girl couldn't actually hit you, but she aimed for your gut. She didn't know you could actually stop it. Well, did not give up on helping other heroes to reach their goal. Like, what are you talking about? It's because you, like, all right. I mean, like, what are you talking about? Danger Sense was going off the whole time, that fight with Nagant. Like, what is he talking about? All right. There's one that I don't agree with from Deku. And, yeah, right. So I just read them. Actually, not bad. It's hard to catch you nowadays. Yeah, Jason. I've been going at the same time, my time. Like, around 9. So, my apologies. I've noticed I haven't been able to catch you either. And, yeah, Kama got that. That bot didn't announce you were streaming. Oh, okay. Comes out Friday or tomorrow in Japan, so, of course, I'm excited. Okay, cool. Oh, hey, Gohan. Hey, but it's fair. I still think Nezu and Toru are not innocent. Fair enough. Don't worry, I know Alien can be stressful for the weak of heart. I'll enjoy talking more about, especially about episode 3. Okay, so episode 3, definitely, I'll see it. Just saw All Might's face and couldn't help but laugh. I feel no pity for that man. I don't either. Jujutsu fans laugh for having no female characters top 10, only for a misogynist like Naoya to get in top 10 over Nahora and Maki. Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. And as for the, like, personally, I don't know why I would, like, why laugh about that. Like, it's just indicative of the guys get more exciting things. It's not like the girls are terrible. I mean, you have Merkle. Merkle's like legitimately very fun. It's funny that Naoya got to the top 10. Hey Robert, Danger Sense didn't go off. Let's see. Skelly. Hey Skelly. At least Spinner is trying to help Shigi this time rather than just standing there watching him like he did in My Villain Academia. Is there a Spinner thing? Let me look at the images. I guess I'll go back and look at the... I'm glad that Izuku actually used Black Whip immediately. You know, this thing just isn't hitting me, man. It just isn't hitting me. I think the stuff for One Piece was better, but I'll tell you which part really isn't hitting me. Aoyama then starts saying that because the classmates he might have had to kill were so nice to him, he ended up acting that way and got closer to everyone. That first part, like, I don't feel it because Aoyama is Aoyama. Like, he's weird. He's been weird from the very beginning. Maybe if he was a little bit more aloof, like if he was more aloof like Shoto and he got nicer over time, I would believe that kind of rhetoric. But for me, it's just like, no, Aoyama, you've been weird the entire time. Like, the only person you actually have a relationship with is Izuku. I don't really feel it. There's another spot here. I don't really care that Aoyama is saying that his soul is raw, and we already know it's not because the guy's crying about his parents, so we know it's not. That's just dumb. And you know what? All their reactions, like Kirishima screaming in disbelief, asking Aoyama to say it's all a lie. Um, yeah, I'm just not feeling it. It's just I don't got that emotional connection to the situation from what I'm seeing here. Like I mean, Kirishima, I've never seen you talk to Aoyama. Like, Aoyama's the kind of guy that says something in the background and then you leave. Aoyama's the kind of guy that has lunch by himself in the classroom. He separates himself from everyone else, pretending that he's fancy. And that's like after All For One's in jail. I don't think he's that cool. I don't have that What do you guys think? I just don't have that personal connection to Aoyama. And I really could not care less about his whole little depression. Like that last thing where he's tied up and he's crying and all that, and people are asking him to say it's a lie. I cared more about the situation with the parents than I did him confronting his classmates. Like, what is... It's just an issue of, like, I haven't seen that much from Aoyama, I really think Kanjuro was a better thing going on in One Piece, because at least Kanjuro was critical in many spots before. I mean, Aoyama's thing is like that one blast he has in the camp. Yeah, I don't know. I'm conflicted. Kyoto outside Hagakuru's face is really pretty. Yeah. One nigga that was hilarious. Let's see. Time for all Hagakure. Here's a simp. Baku is so calm, man. Yeah. Barb's going crazy. Yeah, it's Nagant. She doesn't deserve praise. No one should be called a villain for the rest of their lives for over a single crime. That's debatable. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, Shigaraki, one single crime is him taking out, like, 19 cities. Like, yeah, no, I'm okay if you call him a villain for the rest of life. I don't, like, he can repent, and he can, like, spend the rest of his life trying to fix the things he was, but I have no problem calling him, like, yeah, you were a villain. Do you think quirks will be gone by the end of the year? Because the whole singularity, maybe Singularity sacrifice himself and take everyone's quirk to stop the singularity. No, it depends. Like, you have to, like, I think to make that work for me, I need to see the source of quirks, and I need to see how you take out all the quirks. Like, you need to reach the origin of the quirks, much like Attack on Titan. You need to reach the origin of the Titans and then wipe out the origin. So I don't think right now I don't see any mechanisms to actually take out all the quirks. And, like, singularity is just like, remember, like, they call it singularity, but the issue of singularity is just, like, quirks develop faster than human bodies do. But at the same time, you have examples of people whose human bodies are keeping up, like Bakugo. Bakugo's body is keeping up to some degree. So, I don't know. I need another mechanism to really think about it. I think a chapter like this will be better and official, not Google Translate spoilers. Yeah. Kind of weird to think All For One has corpses hanging around to intimidate people. Well, no, AN683, remember the Nomu. The Nomu are all corpses. Remember, like, All For One is like a necromancer, except not as effective. Like, he likes dead bodies. Kind of weird to think All For One has corpses hanging around to intimidate people. Got that. Translation sound off. Yeah. I hope Deku's speech was good. I can't wait for because it feels like they're going to forgive Aoyama easily. Opinion on recent chapter of Eden Zero. Setup chapter, right? I don't trust Connor at all. Like, I don't trust him at all. Like, whatever's going, I think Rebecca's on the right on this one. Oh, hey, Vance. Hey, Aoyama, you know that thing that Ikuzuku was doing for 30? Could you get him to go back to doing that? I promise I definitely will actually take advantage of it this time. Imagine Aoyama being a sinister double agent. That's a really good point by this, but I'm gonna keep that one. That's actually a pretty critical thing. That if All For One needs Aoyama to get Izuku to act alone again, that means that he would rather Izuku be acting alone. Imagine Aoyama being a sinister double agent. I mean, like, I kind of like the traitor from Blue Exorcist, just because it's so nebulous what he's doing. He's like a quadruple agent at this point. I think, like, if you want to go look at, like, just some frustrating traitor shenanigans, I would say go look at Blue Exorcist implementation of it. Oh, hello, Valerie. Let's see. I am mixed on Aoyama being a traitor. I always wanted Trade to be a kind of mustache-rolling villain, but he's kind of dumb, and I don't care that he's a traitor. I wish it was Kaminari. Aoyama didn't really form any strong connections to Class A besides Deku. I agree. I was hoping we see Aoyama and his parents, part from Izuku, part of them here, and part way over staying in the wall. No, I don't get the reference. And yeah, Jason, no, I do recall that. Hori could have done better to characterize some of the background characters. They spend a lot of time together. I agree. Like, I am trying to be careful with that. But and that's why I was, like, being careful with I don't feel anything here. And, again, one of the critical things about Aoyama is that he's always so, like, standoutish. You know, and again, the big example is like the few times we see Aoyama, his behavior of sitting in class alone to eat his cheeses. You're not showing me much about the character, but the few things you do show me, it's pretty much the character being a loner, right? Like the impact of what you're showing me, like what am I gonna do? Like the things that I'm working off of, I've seen Aoyama be alone or either be weird enough that no one knows how to actually talk to him. Like, my big question is, do the kids actually know how to talk to Aoyama reasonably without his little sparkle filter getting in the way? There just haven't been that many really good moments of them talking with him. That's ultimately why I don't really connect there. And then, like, you know, Aoyama in the recent bits has been out of the scenes. Yeah, I'm being a little bit critical, but ultimately it's a me thing. I know what the author's trying to imply that, oh yeah, these guys live together, they would be affected, but this is one of those spots where you're telling me and you haven't shown me, and now I don't really care in that regard. No disrespect, but him being a traitor doesn't really hold up compared to it being someone more important. Class 1A are acting like Aoyama was a dude that talked a lot, looked back at USJ when he was talking, the students ignored him. Yeah, pretty much. Aoyama's probably close to Hagakure and Mina, I think. That's probably it. It's probably Hagakure. It has to be Hagakure that he's closest to. But I mean, Ojiro does a better job of being close to Hagakure. All for One's plan fails just for him to say, oh, I have lots of plans. Could you picture him cooking for Shigaraki Burns' meal? I plan to order pizza all along. I bet. Except he has a kurogiri. Order the pizza. Deku has a strong connection to the class than Aoyama. But then again, this is not official. I hope this is not the case. It'll probably be like, oh yes, sorry. Leaks are here. It'll probably be something similar though. Aoyama being a traitor fell flat in the connections with these characters because we don't really care about what Aoyama's connections to his classmates are. Aoyama's always sitting alone in class and lunch. He was always a loner. Out of everybody in class, he interacts the less out of everyone. Not even the side mangas and novels. Yeah. I want to wait for but might end up looking at the routes for Yomi no Sugai. Oh, don't worry, Deathray. You'll get to enjoy it. I hate how Hori is trying to make Bakugo and Deku sound like bro Deku should be able to sweep the floor with Bakugo. I don't know. I mean, Bakugo probably survive. Bakugo could survive out of like pure intelligence and skill. I was so excited, like just for early bits. I think Bakugo probably would be able to. I think Horikoshi would write Bakugo to be able to survive against Izuku. I was so excited for this chapter, but I honestly don't know how to feel. I'm a bit sad attached and just questioning. Black Clover's new chapter didn't help me in my feels either. Okay. It was a Kung Fu Panda 2 reference. Ah, okay, gotcha. I need to wait and see the official for what exactly All For One says. Some of the I've seen strongly imply that Aoyama's parents are the only traitors. Other translations not so much. Fair enough. Oh, hey, Animamus. We probably would have to look at the party celebrations the class does. Yeah, that's the other spot I was thinking about too. Well, like, remember, Aoyama's the kind of guy that gives people a picture of him for Christmas. That's a narcissist, right? Like, in any other world, like, imagine, you know, we're at a Christmas party, and, like, I give Skelly a picture of my face. I mean, yeah, first off, amazing. That's, like, worth $100 at least. I'll even sign it. It'll be worth $75 then. Yeah, but that's pretty lame. That's pretty lame. Like, if Skelly wants a picture of my face, he can just take a screenshot and print it out or something. So yeah, you know, on paper, Aoyama's a gag character, right? But those gags are ultimately pretty shallow. It's just like for real, if you were going to a Christmas party and you received a picture of your coworker, like, that's not a good gift. It's extraordinarily vain. No one wants to be friends with a vain person. All right, I'm looking at 242. I'm looking for Aoyama. Yeah, he gets to have his like nice little fun time. It's funny too, like Aoyama. I think Aoyama sits more with Sero most of the time. Sero would be the one that probably actually is more friendly with him. Let's see. I'm trying to find more of the class together scenes. So 242 was Christmas. 245 must be... no, that's Hawks. 248. One second. I'm just trying to find more shots here where I can find all the kids hanging out. 252. Nope, that's still in the ending arc. 254. That's Aizawa's little freak out. One second, guys. 256. One second. Oh, there it is. 257. Now, where are you, Aoyama? This is the New Year's party. Yep, no, Aoyama's not looking towards the camera. Yeah, there's just not many. Even in the party scenes, there's not really that much that you can really see here. Oh, good that Aoyama's sitting next to Izuku, though. You know, people always make a thing about how Aoyama's always staring at the screen, and it's like, 257, he's just flat out not. Alright, let me read your comments real quick. Ian63 said, I get why he would rather have Izuku alone than having to attack Yui just again, but yeah, he didn't take advantage of it last time, and now his traitor is caught. So, you know, your usual all-for-one fail, yeah. Only Izuku can talk to Aoyama. The class were filled at looking after their fellow classmates. Izuku is the class mascot at this point, being there to promote change and inspiration. Bakugo survives because Hody would never let him lose. What happened to Black Clover? Okay, we can check the Black Clover spoilers as well. Manga Helpers Black Clover. Actually, I can just go to read Black Clover and see what they got there. Let's see what's going on in the Black Clover spoilers before coming back to Hero Academia. Let's see. Are there any spoilers? Okay. Black Clover, Asta has a sword. Demons. Asta slashes. Something happens. Things get cut apart. It's giant. Okay. Someone's been freed or whatever. Does just the picture don't look too bad. Do you think Deku's the strongest student in UA? Yeah, probably. Like, he can hit All Might levels, like, just from physical strength. Like, Izuku probably has the strongest punching strength in all of UA. One translation I've seen has say that he'll have to look for other disposable tools. If the translation is accurate, then the fact that All For One says he has to look for other people seems to strongly imply that he doesn't have other spies within UA that he can just replace Aoyama with. Yes, I would agree. Like, if he has to look at other, like, oh, sorry, the emphasis would be look at other disposable tools. It implies there's more tools to be looked at in general. So yeah, I see what you're saying, White Despair. Let's do that concert now, Jiro. Kayla says, celebrate finding out the weird kid in your class is the traitor. I never really questioned it, but how do these villains eat? Who's actually getting them food? Probably Dobby, maybe. King Luck is OP, no move delivery. Other translations I've seen, Aoyama, All For One says that if Aoyama fails, he'll move on to the next plan. The translations don't tell us anything about whether or not there were other traitors. Okay, I think the issue is the story seems like it's going at light speed towards its ending. We needed more Aoyama screen time. Yeah. I mean, like, it's also interesting, like, a good chunk of the revelations here are coming directly from, that one Aoyama chapter where he was being really weird, right? Like, the author is just referencing one chapter here, really. Like, we haven't actually seen how Aoyama gave away the information. Like, I want to actually see how he got the information for, you know, for USJ. I want to actually see that. I would have felt more emotional if Minato was a traitor, which is funny. I think a lot of people would have enjoyed that. Imagine his real form and he could change his body type. That'd be hilarious. And got Yasar. Okay, so you finished reading the leaks. Do you think any student could die? I could see someone like Zero dying because he's not too big. And he's a character we can live without. I think Aoyama is the most likely to die, though. I really think I still really think Shoto. Shoto's my pick. I'd rather it be Shoto, but that's like a personal bias. That's not logical. Common said or asked, could Deku beat any of the big three? The problem would be Mirio, because maybe with Mirio you can't beat Mirio, because if you can't touch Mirio, how do you beat him? But at the same time, I don't think Mirio can beat Izuku actually, unless you want to say that for some reason, Izuku, who could tank Nagant's bullets, can't tank a hit from a punch from Mirio. Actually, it depends. Mirio probably could hit Izuku without actually hitting him. Mirio's like the big one because he has the most defensive capabilities. Because Sun Eater, his defensive capabilities have a limit. It's the limit of the natural world. So Sun Eater would get hit out of there, no problem. Nejire is a joke, so don't even bother. Nejire has no real durability. It's pretty much Mirio who can negate damage in general. He'd be the one to look at in terms of can Izuku beat him. That said, Izuku should be able to just not fight Mirio at all. Because Mirio can't keep up with Izuku. There's no way around it. Oh, Trip, Shield Hero updated, and now we have to wait till next month for the chapter. Since it's monthly, they're going to confront the current villain right now. Oh, that's cool. Ian63, All For One says, yeah, guys, no worries. I have friends to spare Skeptic. I just checked, and they just captured your traders. All For One, well, honestly, I just don't get how other people can take him seriously. As the slice of the people are shocked, surprised Yami and William are saved. Yay. Yami not reflecting happy, and got Asta as strong as he is. Happy ending. Great. Doron continues to disappoint me. Chapter 2. MC and Kusanagi relationship is moving fast and seems very forced. Also, pacing isn't that good. I'll have to look at it, Death Ray. I didn't even bother looking at it the other day. Do you think All For One will give the other league members quirks? If so, what type of quirks would you like to see for each member? Well, I'm still thinking like he might turn Spinner into a Nomu accidentally. But Dobby probably needs a regen quirk. I think Dobby with a regen quirk probably is the best thing to do for him. Or like a fire resist quirk. Give him some of that. But Spinner probably needs some super strength quirk. So, only one trader. I'm fine with Izuku standing firm the way he is. It's the way Izuku would react. If Shoto dies, I'll be mourning for months and be depressed these streams. Oh, yeah. Or could be coming to these streams depressed. Don't worry. It would happen at the end. So, you would get over it pretty quick once we start talking about the next series. Doesn't Meteor have some move that makes people get extremely sick because he phased through them or something? No. He's punched them. He punches them in the gut, like in the solar plexus. I don't remember any disorientation move. I know Mirio gets disoriented, and that's why he resists the drunk effects. I don't recall him phasing through people and making them sick. Alpha's being consistent. Alpha's fan translation thing, as it seems, doesn't seem right to say he's got friends but only one. People are calling Hody sexist because only female characters die like Midnight and Star and Stripes. But bro, did they forget Sir Night-Eye? Probably, right? You gotta remember recency bias, right? So people, or like basic people, tend to only remember things that happened in the last month. That's how you can tell they're basic. I'm not even surprised All For One's whole plan with the trader was just to have Izuku act on his own again. He had Izuku doing just that for 33 days straight and did literally nothing with it. Irunaku's brothers were expected to be. Okay, that's great. Gohan, the only thing consistent with All For One is how incompetent he is. Kayla sounds like Black Clover being Black Clover. Let's see, what do you mean, Trip? Nejire tank that are as hot as Endeavor, so I couldn't... Wait, so what? She tanked flames that can't even burn wood. Why should I care? That's barely any kind of tank. Like, Dobby's flames are irrelevant. He wasn't even able to burn off all of Hawks' feathers to the point that he can't grow them back. That's not tanking. You're not really tanking a hit. You're just being burned. Like, that has nothing to do with being able to take hard force. Like, no, come on. Like, is Nejire actually going to be able to take a 45% hit from Izuku? There's no rate to say that she would. But then again, durability in Hero Academia is pretty high. But, you know, like, I think Nejire can't hit it. And did she get a full blast on that fire? Yeah, no, it's still Dobby. We're still talking about Dobby, the man that can't burn firewood. Like, I don't know, man. Like, this is the guy that would get fired from KFC. I don't know. I don't think that's a good metric to have. Ah, Prower. Why are you saying that? Is there official news from the Pokemon Company? Because we were talking about this yesterday on the about the PokeLeaks, Because like Voltorb and Electrode are one of the leaked forms. Actually, Prower, were you here when we were talking about the leaks about which Pokemon get new forms? If you weren't here, then I would happily like go through it again for you. Oh wait, Ty, I just saw. I couldn't type that with a straight face. Ty, never mind. Ty, you're on the same page as me. That makes it funnier. Ty, I should have read that, but you know, like the moment you even insinuated my Dobby bias just got in the way. All right, excellent. Maybe now the one who has been feeding Aoyama the info will have to silence him before Aoyama can turn him in. The teacher from 1B. Kenneth sticking strong to 1B. I'd be pretty okay with Vlad being a traitor still. Would Toga be given another quirk? What would it be for? I don't know. Maybe like I feel like Vlad's quirk would have good synergy with her. But just look on Twitter. Oh, okay. That means it's probably on that one Pokemon subreddit. Let me very quickly go look at it. There was an old map of Sinnoh as well that came out in a magazine. People freaked out because there was like some kind of red thing. Oh, I see. Okay, I see the Twitter thing here. Let me just I'm just reading it now, Prower. So, trainer, since we're such, I have a favor to ask. I was so excited to tweet that I dropped all my Pokeballs. Would you please help me pick them up? And because Pokeballs fall naturally, if you're able to help me collect my I have a surprise for you. Oh, that's kind of cute. Yeah, I see some interesting Pokeballs in there. Yeah, it's probably gonna be Voltorb. I mean, like, it's already on the leaks. And give me a second, Proud. I'm just pulling up the leaks so we can talk about it. Iruma-kun spoiler mentioned Ameri getting pissed off. Oh, that's cool. Based on the... wait, let me just make sure. I think I might have missed... Oh, no, I missed a lot. Sorry, guys. I'm so happy Fujimoto dropping another one-shot soon. Read look back 20 plus times. All for one's plan for Izuku seems to be to wait for Shigaraki to be 100% and then fight him. Yeah. I'm just going by Horikoshi word from last chapter. Literally said Dobby's flames are just like Endeavor's. It's silly to think about. Yeah, Dobby shoots Nejire with fire. Haha, Endeavor. Another kid died because of you. Meteor, are you alright, Nejire? Yeah, I've never been better. I got a haircut. You make Dobby sound even more lame. Can't burn anyone but himself. Oh, is it here? Okay, let's see. Poke got that. Iruma-kun got that. Based on the last chapter, I do hope Class 8 goes out to join the search for the League. Most likely they won't find them, and we can see them get in teams and fight villains on the streets together. There really was tested a lot in My Academia. Ida and Izuku falling into Kirishima's loving arms after Ochako straight up released them. For those who watch movie through the whole Shoto thing, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, Toga new quirk, self-control. I starred 9-starred floors 9 and 10 in Abyss. Oh, nice! Nice! Toga will get a new quirk to help seduce Izuku. Okay, great, I got to the end. So for the ones that weren't here yesterday, just to very quickly go over it. These are the leaks for the Pokemon. So, just to cover it again... There's 7 new Pokemon, which are the Standler evolution, the Scyther evolution, the Basculin evolution, like the Water Ghost one, the Sneasel evolution, the Quillfish evolution, and the Ursaring evolution. And then it seems like there is one of the new genies, and it is, I think, Psychic Flying. So there's one of the new genies, and then in terms of the Hisui, I can't pronounce that word. In terms of the old Sinnoh forms, we have, of course, the Zoroark form, the Growlithe form, Braviary's form, Decidueye, Typhlosion, and Samurott are getting new forms. Let's see, Sliggoo and Goodra are getting forms. Avalog is getting a different form. Quillfish is getting a different form. Sneasel is getting a different form. Basculin is getting a different form. Voltorb and Electrode are getting a different form. And one of the more surprising ones, Lilligant, is getting a different form. So those are the leaks that we got so far. 7 new and 17 new forms. Anyway, those are the leaks. And then there's been other leaks about just the gameplay loop for Pokemon Legends and just being really grindy, and like the end goal is to collect all the Pokemon or whatever. So that's pretty cool. I actually think, like, legitimately that's pretty neat. Okay, let me just check, because there's some new information today. Just want to make sure that I don't miss anything here. No, yeah, no, that's good. I got all the information. Anyway, let's see. I need to, Viz, speaking of Spiral, I need to work on getting Spiral done. I need to get more primo. Horikoshi comment from this week's Jumps. All my past editors paid me a dinner. I was incredibly happy. Oh, that's nice. Wait. That's weird. All of the past editors paid him a dinner. Does that mean like they all like went to dinner with him? No, guys, that's really weird. You know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like to me, hey, we heard that your ending is really close. Let's do a celebration dinner. Like that sounds to me like, hey, today we decided on the final issue for Hero Academia, like what issue you're gonna be in. Let's go out for dinner and drinks. You're finally here at the end. That's what that sounds like to me. Cause like, why randomly just do it? I guess. Wait, was it the anniversary recently? I don't remember when the anniversary was. I don't think it was the anniversary. Are we at the anniversary? No, I don't think we are. Yeah, no, that's strange. Let's see, Toga might work well with an illusion quirk, especially with her physical capabilities. Oh, take Kami's quirk. That'll be interesting. I just lost hope in the build-up Horikoshi had with Toga being wasted. What would be really bad if all for once being Izuku dad? Praying to the manga gods that doesn't happen. Yeah, no, man, Ty, I've given up on that. Like, Ty, come on. Well, I guess we don't live in the Toru is the traitor world anymore, but, man.
As a dutiful maid would.
Oh, Ken always wanted Toga to get Vlad King's quirk. Wait, hey guys, I'm on a date and she's in the bathroom so can't stay. Oh, that's so wonderful, Terry. Okay. Finally got my Eula burst crowned. Now I can hit 350k, 400k damage. Bro! What? Yo, wait. Yo, Sarge, how many stars? Wait, yeah, how many constellations do you have on Eula? Like, what kind of damage do I need? Like, I want to hit that kind of damage. Alright, did I miss other people's comments? No, I didn't. Interesting for stars to get regional variants. Yeah, Prower, that's been the big talk when it comes to this whole situation with the starters. It is really interesting. Typhlosion gets a fire ghost. Wait, let me just make sure, Prower. I want to make sure I'm not giving you the wrong information here from the alleged leaks. 1 second, Prower. Yeah. So yeah, Typhlosion gets Fire Ghost. Really interesting. And yeah, people are talking about like why those Pokemon even came from another region. So really, it seems like it's like a very sudden adaptation kind of thing. That's really the only thing that makes sense for those Pokemon to be getting those regional forms. Samurott gets a Water Dark, and Decidueye goes to Grass Psychic, I think, if I'm getting the color correct. Again, pretty interesting. It's sad that I want one more Toga Izuku encounter before the end of the series. I think it'll happen, honestly. I think it'd be weird for it to not happen. Yeah. Okay. They're just kind of... Huh. Didn't know I can do that on ladders. Alright, that's cool. That's cool. Let's see. 0 constellations. Oh my god, I need to work on that. I didn't know that's the kind of damage I can hit. I know like with Hu Tao, I've gotten to like 70,000 damage, I think, on one of my spiral runs. I think I've seen that number. But then like, I know that Noelle only ever really gets up to 20,000 maybe when she has her burst on. Damn, that's a lot of damage. Crap, man. I don't want to get there. Oh no. Let's see. Yeah, I wish I could hit that with you, but my artifacts man, I'm still working on talents. Terry, the ship builder, searching for his own ship. Yeah, he is. Oh, good for him though.
Think you can get away?
Let's see.
Brace yourselves. No, my sword.
Toga with Lad's quick will be OP. No more syringes, instant transformation, and quirks use. Yep. Let's see. Geography really hit those starters like Tuck-kun. Yeah, that's a funny way of saying it, Animamus. Yeah, totally. So the Stars Legends will have the same situation as the Kalos starters. Oh, you mean in terms of the type advantages? Let me remember. The Kalos starters... So, Psychic was for Chestnut. Oh, sorry. Fighting for Chestnut. Psychic for... Delphox. What was Greninja's? Was Greninja dark? Wow, kind of weird to think about Greninja being dark. Was it dark? Prower, was Greninja dark? I don't know. In my mind, I keep thinking it was pure water, but I know that's incorrect. Wow, why did I think it was pure water? But yeah, okay. I getcha. Yeah, it is a pretty interesting scheme there, Prower. Let's see. The goddess in it keeps failing with the people she summons to kill the hero. Toga should kiss Izuku to send the fan of just look at that scene. Noelle C6 can hit harder than that with good artifacts. Not in Spiral. She doesn't hit that hard in Spiral. Like my artifacts for Noelle I think are pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna be getting much higher damage outputs out of Noelle here. But then again, if you're actually seeing something different in Spiral, then I'm the one that's talking out of my butt.
Leave it all to me.
Let's see. Toga should have got that. If Toga meets Izuku again, she'll probably regress to how she originally is. Trip's pessimism has rubbed off on me. No! 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 Ty! No! Optimist! You have to be an optimist, man! No! 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 We're going back to happiness. Hero Academia can do no wrong except when Dobby's. Well, actually, no. Dobby's a gift. No! 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 Let's be optimistic. Just optimistic about reasonable things like. The manga is gonna end before chapter 600. There's no way around that. Actually, before chapter 400. We can be really optimistic about Mirko. Like Mirko's pretty cool. Yeah, man. Like Mirko's done no wrong. Like she's been treated very respectfully. And Momo's going to have a moment where she actually wins one, because she's long overdue. What else? Bakugo will call All For One nutsack to his face. Like that'll be pretty cool. I mean, I'm looking forward to the day. I think we'll be seeing a lot of people call All For One idiot in the coming days. Let's see. Yeah, was water dark? Yeah, man, in my head, like, I never think about Greninja being that part dark, man. Okay, don't forget, Dobby was taken out by a magic scarf and then taken out by Gran Torino. I don't think Dobby's much of a threat. I agree. A random, let's see. I mean, she does tell the MC to kill the hero. Let's see. Greninja was water dark. Let's see. All For One seems closer to Dobby than Shigaraki. Yeah. It might be weird. All For One might see, like, Shigaraki as a tool, but he might see Dobby as, like, yo, this guy might be a good protege. And, like, I don't have any interest in his body, so, like, there's really nothing in it for me other than just, yeah, well, I kind of want to see him succeed or something like that. It'd be funny if Dobby's actually the one that gets, like, the healthy relationship with All For One. Let's see. Reminds me of, let's see. Moonlit Fan has one of those as well. Chip has poisoned us. Oh god. Is there any One Piece spoiler out yet? There's no. I think One Piece is on break. That's why we don't have any spoilers. My happiness is Toga gushing over Izuku and interacting with him. Oh, that's cute. I'm still optimistic about stuff still, especially in manga's light novels. Oh, I'm optimistic about that too. I've never been, Gohan, I've never been cynical about High School DxD ever. Let's see. Which other ones I'm not really cynical about? Yeah, I'm not really cynical about the good chunk of the isekais, Gohan. Gotta say. Alright, let's go. I'm very interested in seeing the exact for the start of the chapter. Going off how nonchalantly Dobby is talking about a traitor seems to imply that the League already knew about it. Yeah, I'll have to see. Like, it might just be like they know that All For One has a traitor, but they might not know that there's the identity of the traitor. That's what I would kind of go towards saying. But again, I do think for sure I need to see the exact wording here. Because I do think, like, just with the way that some things are being summarized here, it just makes it feel kind of weird. Or it just makes it feel kind of like, alright, debatable. debatable. And I'm really curious to see how exactly Izuku's recontextualizing Nagant. Because it's like, Nagant only helped you guys after Izuku, like, pressured her. And he had to really pressure her to, like, bring her back to any kind of idea of helping against All For One. Kami knows for All For One's ways somehow. Toru is innocent, Mineta's acting a little weird. Toru just went back to be as useful as Sakura until the end. Imagine Kaminari and Mineta being salty about Izuku attracting a villain girl to him. You know, I don't think this is a time and place. Like, if they would be salty about that, I'd be like, come on, guys. Come on, guys. Like, Japan is having an apocalypse and you guys are getting upset that one boy has more pull than you. Like, come on. I hope Momo's win is worth it because I'm tired of being disappointed. Oh, Poison. Yeah, no, it'll be worth it because, like, Horikoshi has a lot to prove. He has to prove that she was worthwhile. She has to get, like, a clear win at the end of the series. There's no way around it. She has to. Has any female won a serious fight in the series without help or near-death trip? A series? You mean like a villain fight, right? We're talking about villain fights, right? Nejire, Ryukyu, Ochako and Suyu had that win against the Stamina Eater from Overhaul's arc. They had that win. Girls. Oh, Kendo. Oh, wait, no. Kendo got held by Tetsu. Which arc? Momo will take down Midnight's Killer. Yeah, I'd be pretty happy with that one, Prower. I gotta say, I would be pretty happy with that one. Like, I think Mirko did a really good showing for her fight. Like, she was taking on high-end Nomu. She did really well, all things considered. Come on, Horikoshi. Come on. There has to be someone. Come on, Horikoshi. There has to be someone. Toga beat Curious all by herself. Yeah, Toga beat Curious all by herself. DXD is true harem. What's funny, Chip, is that Demon Slayer fighting game nominated in the video, but it definitely won't win. I think Miracle Fan was a win. If that won, I would be so done. And does Aoyama versus Mina count? Mina won. Oh, but it's not a serious fight. It's just like that's just, you know, that's a sport fight. Sport. I thought that time meant in terms of like life and death. Only time that optimism is not good is on manga and pure romance. It said, yup. Oh yeah, Yusuke, the spoiler's already out. I really want Izuku to have a harem just to see how Mineta and Kami react. Me too. And we'll take down One Night's Killer. What quirk would you have? Oh, hey Chris. Yeah, man, I don't know. Like, maybe like super reflexes, or maybe just the power to make things moist. Like, uncomfortably moist. Because then I would just go around making everyone moist. And it'd just be a thing that happens. Everyone would be very uncomfortable. I guess, no. Like, there's a book idea I've been playing around with. And it's kind of based off of one power from D. Greyman. But it's pretty much like, I wouldn't mind having the power to make ghost butterflies that can eat people's hearts. Or pretty much ghost butterflies that go into someone's body and start eating away at organs. Right? I wouldn't, yeah, cannibalistic. No, it wouldn't be cannibalistic, but man-eating ectoplasmic butterflies. I wouldn't mind having that power. And the only reason I'm thinking about that one is just because I was thinking about like doing an assassin type story. But I was still kind of trying to formulate ideas for it. But I thought that would be a nice simple power. And like the way it was used in D. Greyman was pretty cool. It wasn't the same. I don't think those butterflies were ectoplasmic, but I think they were energy based. Let's see, Mirko high-end, kill high-end Nomu. Yeah, I didn't know the second user was a 7 Hokage. Izuku is really using Talk No Quirk. Mount Lady was doing fine in the war till Makia came. When I saw her holding back Makia at the first, I was like, she's losing. No doubt about it. Oh yeah. Mount Lady probably did some good stuff. A Tokyo Revengers TV anime season 2 in development. Cool, Lady Got could have won but wasn't trying to kill. Yeah, she was trying to maim. Like, she was ready to take out some limbs. At least let me see Mo pull a gun or sword or something. Come on, Hori. Her quirk is creation, such a waste, especially with how advanced her creation is now. Also, holy Koshi not using Toga's new ability to copy quirks. This is my villain academia is disappointing. Toga should be a problem on the battlefield. She was really wasted in the war arc. Yeah, I mean, like, remember, like, one of the big things for that war arc is, like, yo, if Toga turns into twice right now, Toga will thwart all of Hawks' countermeasures. Because if she turns into twice, mind you, she probably has to go and get the measurements, but she could get the measurement for Higantomaki, and that could turn really bad. Heck, man, just get measurements for Redestro or anyone else there. There's a few villains that could cause a lot of trouble if there were copies of them. Trip, what's your thought on the YouTuber losing 150 videos on their channel because of Toei? I haven't heard of that, but I know that Toei is quite aggressive. Like I've had my trouble with Toei as well. Like Toei was one of the first companies that I really fought against back in 2016 and 2015. But they're usually really lenient on their copyright policies. Like they won't let you have anything longer than 3 minutes of their content on your video, but they'll let you keep 2 minutes and 30 seconds of content that they detect in your video, because they'll profit off it. Like, they'll claim it and they'll profit. And most of the anime companies are actually okay with continuous segments of 15 seconds in the videos, because some people don't know this, but the YouTube algorithm, or the YouTube footage comparison program, can detect, like, it can detect 5 seconds of a clip and be able to attribute it to the proper source. Just if it's an unedited clip. But most anime clips, you can go 15 seconds on them. So yeah, overall, it's interesting. What YouTuber did that happen to? This is, like, I'm just legitimately interested. Chris asked, what would stop them from eating you? Oh, Chris, just come up with some, like, nonsense rule about, like, they won't eat the person that creates them or something like that. Like, if you create the butterflies, that they won't eat you. Just say, oh, you could go really gross and say that you're the nest for the butterflies. Like, you know, pull Shino from Naruto. You're the nest for the butterflies, so the butterflies don't have an issue with you since you're the host. Just something like that, right? With bugs, you can usually go into that creepy direction, and most people will be like, oh yeah, that makes sense, because you can just say that they're parasitic, and then, like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like, it's like a symbiotic. You can say that it's a symbiotic relationship. There's a lot of ways to justify bugs, and because of the connection that people in the real world have with bugs and the perceptions on bugs, those kind of gross, symbiotic, really kind of natural type relationships are very easy to believe. Like, there's not much suspension of disbelief when it comes to those gross aspects. Toga has only used the copy ability on Ochako, so the limitation she has could be implied there. Maybe. Imagine Toga trying to get to Izuku while he's with 1A, and she's like, why are these bats between us, Seto? Man, you really got a crazy girl. I'm not jealous of that. Mineta on the side pouting. White came back with, listen up, guys. So I got the spy within class 1A. Due to this, we're guaranteed to win spinners. Like, and what is it exactly you'll be having this trader do? All for once, like, so you know how Izuku was running around on his own, being super vulnerable for 33 straight days before class 1A brought him back to UA? I was thinking we get Izuku to do that again. Profit. Let's see, twice body was left behind, so it's probably destroyed. Yeah. If I was Toga, I would get blood from everyone with useful quirks. Yeah, I would too. If Toga drank Izuku blood, can she use one for all? I don't think she can copy the vestiges. I think she can copy the capacity to transmit one for all to different bodies. If she used twice quirk on the 6 high ends that All for One has now, it's pretty much game over. It is. Wish the female Nomu didn't die. Could have been a good antagonist. Agreed. In the case of Totally Not Mark, the YouTuber, many of the videos taken down didn't have much or any footage at all, but mentioned One Piece or Dragon Ball in the video's title. Oh, that's different. You know what that is? that's probably some intern or some new copyright protection agency coming in, and they're 100% taking down those videos so that they can bloat it up and say like, yo, hey Toei, we took down 100,000 videos infringing on One Piece or whatever. And then Toei's like, oh, okay, we'll continue paying you money. No, this happens a lot. Like sometimes the copyright claimers, they just start spiking for whatever reason. It happens around the start of every new quarter roughly. And they just have like a bit of a field day, and then they kind of just die down again. But that's pretty ballsy. That's pretty ballsy, I wonder. I think he could probably defend himself on that one. Didn't he take down 4 drawing video from that YouTuber? He didn't use anything, still shot or clips or whatever anime he was drawing. I mean, yeah, they probably have. Do you think in the final arc they'll break out the Doctor so they can turn twice into a Nomu and use his body to make an army of Nomu? Well, the thing there, Aki, is like, do they actually have enough time to make a Nomu? Because it takes a while to make Nomus. Mr. Amon's like, did you like the spoilers? You know, I'm not emotionally invested right now, Mr. Amon. I need to see how it looks in the final chapter. I did love seeing All Might's face, though. And that made me very happy. Because it's like, yeah, All Might, like, that's what you get for not keeping an eye on these kids. You didn't notice how much Aoyama was suffering. I honestly want to see Toga take even a sliver of blood from Izuku and try to act like Izuku while being around Class 1A. I just want to stir confusion. Well, remember, Kayla, she did have a sliver of blood from Izuku. And she did turn into Izuku to trick Ochako and the girls into driving the guy into the floor. Right? Like, she has already tricked Ochako when it comes to Izuku. I wish I was disappointed by All For One's plan for Aoyama, but I legitimately am not. This is just more of a same for All For One. Once upon a time, White Despair believed in All For One. And now we're here. I just realized that kid wasn't Venti.
Think you can get away?
How do you leave the Serena teapots? Guy, go into the map. Just open up your map and just go back to Teyvat. Just go to a teleport point anywhere in Teyvat, Mega. Oh, nice, Mr. Amon. Glad you like the spoilers. Yeah, man, I just need to see, like, I'm interested in some of the dialogue that was happening, but I need to see what it looks like in the final chapter. Like, I'm not too sure. I wish it was, let's see. Toga has the brain of a middle schooler and slasher. She can't think about something complex or trying to turn into someone from the league and copy their quirk, says Kayla. And Mega, it was just pretty much Izuku controlling things. I gotta say, one thing I did like was Nezu supposing that because Aoyama got the quirk so early on, maybe the explosion mechanism wasn't involved. But mind you, like, if All For One is, you know, he could be smart in this one and be like, oh, yeah, I'll make you think that the explosion mechanism isn't in there, but it is. I'm just waiting for the best possible moment to use explosion or something like that. I think that would be really cool on All For One's part if he did that, but I don't think the author wants to give All For One that kind of cleverness. But then again, if he does it, it's going to end on another explosion cliffhanger, which we all know what kind of joke that is. Let's see. All For One succeeded in escaping Tartarus. Yeah, that's true. Bakugo should throw All Might figure at All For One, then side down and watch the show. We have this traitor in UA, says All For One. Dobby, Aoyama just got caught. All For One. As I was saying before, I was really interrupted. We have the traitor in UA, and they don't matter at all. Oh man, yeah, man. Like really, All For One when White Despair is playing him sometimes. All For One 100% sounds like Eric Cartman. 100%. What if we get a triple twist and it ends up being that Kirishima is a traitor? Well, that'd be pretty cool too. I'd be okay with that. At this point, I'm just waiting for anything. Teapot tip: place a waypoint in front of your house so you don't have to use a teapot each time. Yeah, actually, Mega, do that. Get the waypoints because that's what I do as well. So I go to my Savannah teapot. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna teleport to my waypoint. What? Oh, I had to finish the storyline quest. I'll do that later. Shoot, why? I think you're underestimating Toga. I think she can do it at least, especially if it's to get close to Hawks. Yeah, I think if she has vengeance on Might, I think she could do it. Once upon a time, I believed all for one. Then he started enacting his whole plan to get a new healthy body by fusing a copy of his own consciousness with the mind of his apprentice, who he spent 15 years raising to be an independent leader, thus granting an entirely new entity the ability to steal one for all, so that new entity will be strong enough to go off and steal the real quirk. Okay, yes, this is the same fandom that does weird things. Let's see. Oh, Going Rogue says, so we agree. We give Izuku all the girls and watch the fandom burn. Alright. What is that point? Mega. The waypoint, right? Like, you can make one of these little things, the subspace waypoint, and then you can just teleport here without having to go through menus. You might already have done that too, so just keep that in mind. We're just giving it little bits of advice here. Do you plant anything in your teapot? Yeah, I plant some of the leeway flowers. I haven't checked the teapot in like actually 3 weeks though. It was so dumb we didn't get the BS explosion. Oh, Matt, were you expecting the explosion? Then after acquiring New Order, this new entity who is not me will go on and make the world like that comic book I didn't read over 100 years. All for one. What a wonderful guy, man. What a wonderful, wonderful person. I don't think All for One wants another body. I just think he has an unhealthy obsession with himself. Probably thinks the only legacy he can leave after his death is himself. Nah, I think All for One wants a new body. I think All for One's just waiting. I think All for One's thinking like, yeah, the day I die is the day I fully take over Shigaraki's body. I'm pretty sure. That's where we're going here. This is the same All for One that loves patting himself and praising himself. Yeah, we don't talk about that, Kayla. That's just like, you know, that moment was like when you see someone's fetish for the first time, and you're like, okay, we're not going to talk about that. Like, you notice that someone has an unhealthy obsession with your feet or something like that, and it's like, all right, I'm just going to ignore that. Because I don't even want to talk about it. You know, that kind of thing? That's kind of what we saw when he was petting himself and calling himself other me. Like, that's really what makes it worse. It's because the guy knows that he's petting his other self. And it's like, how narcissistic can you get, really? But yeah, it's All for One. Also, guys, what is the author trying to say with Toru at this point? Like, because, like, I assumed that in the previous chapter, the whole silhouette thing was just him showing what she looks like. Just because. When I see her face here, like, how are you guys reading it? Do you think she's actually that visible to Izuku? Or do you think that's just the author giving us a glimpse to what this girl looks like? He's probably also doing it because the manga's ending, right? So he needs to show what she looks like. But I think I liked what Team Up Missions did, because Team Up Missions showed a little bit of her face too. Honestly, all of this could have been solved if you just dumped paint on her and just revealed her body. You would have seen her face just fine. That said, she looks like a nice girl. Let's see. I'm believing the vestige is more important to triggering the explosion even more now. But you know what I'm wondering, really, about this whole thing here? I'm wondering, can All for One actually put a vestige in a quirk that isn't originally his? Because I mean, like, wouldn't the vestige being transferred be the original quirk's vestige? Right? Like, that's what's got me a little bit curious. Like, I'm just not sure if All for One can transfer a vestige that's his in a quirk that isn't originally his. I just don't, like, Horikoshi hasn't really defined how this relationship works either, so it just makes it a little bit harder to parse in my head. But that's why I'm still apprehensive. I'm still very apprehensive about it. So, you know, I'm just waiting for something that makes sense to me, or for Horikoshi to just acknowledge it. I miss the simple days when All for One was effective parallel to All Might. Now his character is a complete mass of contradiction and really stupid planning. Yeah, like, All for One is one of those characters that really the author should never have revealed, or like never have him do. Like, All for One, he is stronger when the viewer's imagination is wondering what he's doing. Like, honestly, maybe even don't show what All for One is doing. Maybe even with Star and Stripe. I wonder, actually, maybe with Star and Stripe, just have the kids doing their stuff and then just all of a sudden have All Might come in and be like, yeah, so the #1 hero from America was coming, but then All For One came out of nowhere and he just tried to mess her up. Tried to steal her quirk, but didn't work out very well. And, you know, never really show his opinion about it. Because at least then it's like, if you have just All Might telling you that stuff, then the imagination of the readers goes on overdrive being like, yo, so this girl was coming in on 5 Blackhawk jets. Like, how did All For One stop her? Like, how did this fight actually go down? Like, what was how did this work out? Maybe that would have been worthwhile. Like, maybe end off the star fight with just showing Shigaraki's hand when she was approaching, because maybe the mystery would have carried the manga a little bit better. I mean, like, it's pros and cons, right? Like, right now we're fully looking at pros and cons here, because then you have to ask the question, well, will we never find out how that fight actually went down? Let me think. Are there any other series that do off-screen fights well enough? One Piece does off-screen fights well enough. Like, Doflamingo is really good at this, because Doflamingo would off-screen people quite often, and it didn't really feel like you lost out on a lot. You just see that Doflamingo wrecks someone, it's like, shit, man, like, Doflamingo. Like, Doflamingo seems really strong when he's just around, like, directing Kumas around and beating up Moria. Actually, no, yeah, One Piece might be the proof of this. It's a perfectly valid strategy to do that, because Doflamingo looked amazing when he was doing that kind of stuff. Like, if you look at it, early Doflamingo in One Piece is pretty much just him making big speeches and him showing up out of nowhere just creaming people. And then, ironically, when you go into the Doflamingo storyline, you see that his crew, in some ways, is actually pretty weak. But you can kind of understand what's going on with Doflamingo in that situation. But even then, Doflamingo keeps his personage up pretty high. What do the One Piece fans think about that? Like, did you like how Doflamingo was executed in One Piece? But yeah, interesting. You know, this is one of those times where I kind of wish we could have like a direct comparison of how would that version of Hero Academia work. You know, those would be one of those cool moments of, yeah, I wish I could go to a parallel reality to see how people reacted to this particular implementation of Hero Academia. Anyway, moving on. I'm going to read your guys' comments. Izuku X All Okay, no, that's just a lot of ships. She was his teammate. Okay, I'm going to head out early tonight since I'm really tired. Okay, yeah, see ya, Viz. Thanks for being here, man. And I think I'm going to call in like 8 minutes as well since we got the spoilers super early. Anyone remember when Brian made out with himself from the robot Stewie created? All For One, just an evil bribe for Family Guy. Probably was his personality before he got his quirk. It's like the meme of Obama giving himself the medal. Toru could have always be seen, but she never know how. Oh yeah, that's also possible. All For One, Shigaraki are similar to situation to Naruto's Shadow Clone. Yeah, Speed. Yeah. In terms of like the information transfer, yeah, in a way. Yeah, when one dies, yeah. Vestige All For One. This lady didn't let me have that cool quirk. This is All Might's fault. Real All For One. Shh, it's okay, me. We did our best and are cool. Now let's mess with a kid and insult Dobby. Yes, always insult Dobby. Well, All For One's vestige is connected to One For All, even though the Sockbine quirk isn't his own quirk originally. Yeah, but I wonder if that's just some kind. Yeah, that's true. Like, we still don't have that mechanism fully fleshed out. That's very true, Animamus. So maybe there is, like, by that logic, yeah. Because, again, we still don't have that mechanism fleshed out. But with other quirks, that's what happened in Vigilantes number 6. Oh, Vigilantes, of course. Oh, Mr. Amon, thank you. That's a really good point. Yeah, he can put his vestige in other quirks. Okay, so now I guess like the question is the mechanism of the explosion itself. Okay, no, yeah, actually, Mr. Amon, that's a really good point. That's a really, really good point. I completely forgot about Vigilantes. Really good point, Mr. Amon. And Animamus, of course. Thanks for also pointing up your point. Those 2 points together, really. Yeah, fair. Very fair. Okay, I changed my mind on that. Yeah, All For One can 100% put in his vestige into other quirks. So I guess that's like, does he have a... The question now is, did he figure out how to do that when he put the quirk inside of Aoyama? All for One is thinking, once I take over Shigi, then I could get all the girls. So I will have someone to go home to and not be so lonely anymore by myself. Yeah. Alright, good night, Kayla. But Trip, if we hadn't... Wait, let's see. But Trip, if we hadn't seen the active fight between Star and the fusion of Shigaraki and All for One, that is neither Shigaraki or All for One, how would we ever learn that all along the reason All for One wanted One for All was so that he could steal New Order? But, like, see, that's the problem, right? We don't need to know that. We don't need to know why he went after it. Because that makes it stupid. Like, as you very frequently make it seem, White Despair, that makes it stupid. We 100% could do without that. Like, I don't need to know, like, All for One's mad, almost senile level ramblings. Love the moment between Izuku and Aoyama, but All for One is exhausting. That's funny, Tarnish. But we don't know how long it took to implement his vestige in 6, because I think All for One fused with the O'Clock vestige. That fight should have been a fight of Shigaraki and Captain Celebrity. We already have his backstory. I would have been pretty alright with Captain Celebrity. Heck, you know, if Star and Stripe showed up in Vigilantes beforehand, I think that would have been fine too, actually. Oh, good night, Tiandre. The issue there is that for whatever reason, the All for One vestige was in 6 has been around longer than 6 has had a quirk. Oh, God. Oh, hello, this person with the long name. Cookies. All right. And yeah, Miguel, my opinion, it seems like a really... I like seeing All Might's face, Miguel. I like that Izuku caught him with Black Whip, because that's what Izuku should have done. For me, I just want to see like some of the final wording, because some of the wording throws me off. One detail to keep in mind is that All for One gave vestige to 6 without giving 6 a quirk, unless of course 6 secretly has another quirk that we don't know about. That's what I'm thinking now, White Despair. Unless the vestige of All for One is just 6's subconscious. Assuming it won't explode. Assumption is the worst thing they could do. Yeah. Why do you guys watch anime? Oh, because it's just a nice, like, pastime. Hey, Black Fox. Never seen somebody who doesn't care about their plans the way All for One does. Oh, gotcha, DeAndre. Gotcha. But yeah, man. Actually, like, maybe Vigilantes might just say that the All for One thing is just a manifestation of 6's subconscious. It's just so... man, even Vigilantes a little bit. I missed last week, but I'm curious about everyone's opinion of the poll. Because anime can have good adaptation of source material they are based off of. I tried watching JoJo, but it was unwatchable. Well, to be fair, I don't think JoJo's for everyone. I think JoJo's a little bit hit-miss, because I personally don't like JoJo's style. I mean, I respect it. 100% I will respect that guy for his empire here, but I personally... My favorite JoJo is probably, like, part 2 and then part 4. But otherwise, like, it's just not one... It's not an anime that has a style that I personally enjoy watching. Let's see. I think I got everyone's comments here so far. But yeah,
Think you can get away?
right now the assumption that Nezu made, I want to just I want to just say, like, okay, I really hope that assumption is correct, but like, really, we were mentioning it earlier, Miguel, but if All for One really wants to screw them over, he can make them think that Aoyama won't explode, then make him explode at the worst possible moment. Like, actually, if I was All for One and I could make Aoyama explode, big if I can make Aoyama explode, I will wait until Aoyama's having his big moment with Izuku, being like, yeah, Izuku, I do want to be a hero. I do want to be this great guy. And then All for One's like, exactly. You want to be a great guy, but I will deny that and blow you up. And then it's like, all right, yeah, that's pretty respectable, All for One. That was legitimately very respectable. So it might be something like that. If he goes down and does that, I would 100% respect that. But of course, it all depends on whether or not the explosion quirk or like the explosion mechanism is in Aoyama's body as well. It'd be cool if All for One vestige, if it's inside of Aoyama, just takes over his body and just activates Naval Laser, just to see Aoyama's die from just diarrhea or something like that. Can you imagine? All for One makes someone die of diarrhea? Shit, man. That'd suck. Like, actually, if All for One did that kind of kill, well, I don't know, man. Like, that's probably like the most evil thing in 2021. I think I would be 100% in. Like, if All for One did that, you know, while laughing about it, 100%, that guy is the most evil guy I've ever met. Crap, man. Holy crap. Poor Aoyama's going down that way. Actually, yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah. Totally respect that. I would totally respect that because it's just so cruel and unusual. That would be real evil.
Someone needs assistance.
Okay, so Black Fox wanted to talk about the poll. I think he's talking about the My Hero Academia poll. So for me, for what I remember of the poll, I was pretty happy about it. Like, well, not happy, but like I thought it was interesting. I always find those polls interesting. For me, Rhodey's in it because of the movie, and the girls were probably voting for him because I know that the fangirls were really into the whole Rhodey-Izuku dynamic. I would say like Shinzo is in the poll because he was in the anime recently, so it was just a resurgence of that. We saw a similar thing back when season 2 was airing, that Shinzo got into the pollings. But there being no girls, it's just a manifestation of the fact that fangirls are thirsty, I guess. They're a very active fan base. Bakugo at the top, that makes sense. He's always been at the top. Izuku at second, Choto at third. Ida and Kirishima at the tops as well. That's pretty good. The girls not having anything is also probably indicative of just like they're not really getting that many scenes. And then yeah, President Mike being there is probably because he punched out the doctor so hard. And probably because of some chemistry with Aizawa. That's probably the other reason. Anyone still believe that theory that All For One and Doctor stole Izuku's quirk from when he was a child? No, I don't. I don't. Not really. I really don't. I mean, like, what quirk would he have gotten unless it was a mutation quirk? Unless Izuku had the decay quirk. But how would All For One find out about decay like that? Like, I don't know, man. I don't believe it, but you never know. We live in a very obvious timeline now. Part 6 is pretty cool, if a little jarring at times. Okay, any opinion on new and update Windows 11? No, I don't really like changing my Windows systems. Like, I'm still running 8.1. I like 8.1. So yeah, man. I don't really got any opinions on Windows 11. Parts got that. All For One is over 100. He's way past the giving a F age. Yeah, I'd agree. Like, I wouldn't care that much either at that point. Personally, I really enjoy JoJo, but it'll be the first to admit that it's not for everyone. If someone checks it out and doesn't enjoy it, then I think that's a perfectly valid opinion. Yeah, me too. Like, I'm never gonna rag on people for liking JoJo. Like, it's just not my style. Oh, the rant from last year. Oh, yeah, Black Fox. Good times. I'm also just so old. I doubt that would work, Trip. Aoyama doesn't seem to have enough hatred for a vestige of All For One to take control. What about self-loathing? He might really hate himself right now. Just as someone wise once said, never make a deal with the devil. You'll get what you wish, not what you want, and never what you need. Yeah. JoJo's interesting up until a point where it becomes nonsensical slogfest. Yeah. Kirishima being number 4 makes me happy. Hopefully we get more moments from him. Shocked that Endeavor wasn't in top 10 anymore. Yeah, but like he's still top 20, right? He was still in top 20. DJ Punch was pretty cool. Yeah. Do you think more girls watch My Hero Academia than boys? Well, that's an interesting question. Let me think about that for a second. This is definitely one of those spots where we need like a nice demographic breakdown, but there aren't any demo breakdowns that we know. This would be where I ask Jason if he knows about any demo breakdowns, but I don't think we get demo breakdowns. I know that across all the magazines, there is an extremely strong female voter base. Because I know that even over in Shonen Magazine, when Seven Deadly Sins had their popularity poll, the one that won it was King. And the version of King that won it was a really dapper but Bishonen version. I think more boys watch Hero Academia than girls do. But I think the girls are a more active fan base proportionally. Because a good chunk of fan works are coming from the female readership. And girls are such a active audience that they have made boys love a category in Amazon to cater to them. Also, the entire genre of romance is held up by female readers. So it's a situation where the girls, I think, are just more animated when it comes to the voting population. Like, these are the people that will make themselves known. But mind you, it's hard because like I'm supposing this based on my knowledge of the Western demographics and the usual breakdowns on like the ebook selling platforms. So that would be my long answer on that situation there. Like in general, girls will get more invested with series. They'll be more active in the fandom in general. Girls are also much more prone to reading. Boys don't like reading as much. Girls are much more prone to reading. Girls are also much more prone to like reading subtext a lot more than guys tend to. And again, you know, this is always going to be really rough because we were talking about like like just general stuff. But yeah, in general, like that's how the demographics kind of break down. Yeah, but every between gets wider. Every year, the gap between Izuku and Back gets wider. Ty says the movie audience for the movie was 70%. Ty, was it 70% girls? 70% women for the movie. Okay, gotcha, Ty. Okay, so that tells us a lot too. That's actually really interesting. 70% women for the movies. That's interesting. Yeah, but, let's see. I really liked Brody as a character, so him being in a poll didn't bother me, and seeing him drawn with the main cast was nice. It was. Do people actually like JoJo? I thought they just said it because it's the cool thing to say. I don't know. I saw people not happy that Merkel being in the 20s, and even more angry Mustard beat her. Yeah, I think Mustard beat her because of the female votership. I think they feel bad for the kid. He's like Mustard been in the polls like in the top 50 for like quite a while now. Deku was the original user of Super Regen. His bones are so brittle because they're expected to heal. Oh, that would be interesting. Super Regen comes from Izuku. Wow, that would be crazy. There's people who like it. Miguel, let's see. Yes, there are. The mom votes. Yeah, always the mom votes. More girls take the time to vote. SpongeBob is good anime. Oh, the SpongeBob anime openings are pretty good. Boys just watch the stuff. Girls engage more in the fan base activity and polls. Any new recipes found? Any new recipes? No, I haven't found any new recipes. But yeah, people like JoJo, Miguel. Anyway, going back to the gender demographics and their behaviors. Again, you know, worth pointing out that of course we're talking in proportion, right? Like the proportion of the audience, the females tend to get more engaged, but it doesn't say that there's no males getting engaged, right? It's just an issue of wide trends and wide demographic patterns and behaviors.
Leave it all to me.
It is legitimately interesting the way that things shape out.
No, my sword.
Because like even when it comes into writing stories, right? Like male romance is very, very different, or like male targeted romance stories are extremely different to female targeted romance stories. And it's just interesting, like when it comes down to romance, it's one of those genres where you are very quickly made aware of the of what works for the genders or the demographics. And one thing that does pop up is that it's actually kind of funny in that the male romance readers are a lot more willing to take a lot more deviation from the from what it means to be romance, but the female readership is actually very aggressive about what they want in their books. Like the males are like can be pretty particular about some things. Like if you're doing harem, like they can be pretty particular about some things, but when you're doing female, it's just so hard to like describe it. If you're doing a traditional romance aimed type stories, those traditional romance readers will rake you over the coals. They want everything to be they want everything to be right in their romance. They want you to follow the formula. They want to understand what's going on in the story. They're looking for specific tropes in their stories. they are a very educated and self-aware demographic when it comes to at least the critical side. And the critical side is really important because without the critical side, you're not going to really be selling books. So it turns into a really interesting situation where the girls end up being the ones that will buy most of the books, but they are also the more particular ones. And then, of course, you always have to be, again, little asterisk. Not all women are like this. It's just specifically the romance readers who happen to be predominantly women.
I must leave no stone unturned, as a good knight should.
If everyone would like to know, I'm actually a little bit better at writing for women than I am writing for men. This is something I know. It's because I like slow burn, and that particular trait is something that the majority of the female readership enjoys as well. And then sometimes the male audience, like, it's a little bit more hit miss with the male audience on slow burn when you're doing like romance. It's, again, you know, there's a lot of really interesting little trends that pop up within publication and all that. Moving on. Do most people only watch anime because they're attracted to the avatars? No, most people watch anime because they don't want to read. And also because some people like pretty things moving. Izuku have a quirk attracting. Let's see. Toru Hagakure got face. Yes, for some people that is the case. There were so many shipping moments in the last movie between the boys. They're really catering to the female audience. No markables. No markrabs. In Japan in general, it's because they tend to be based off source material like manga or light novels. Two characters share the screen for 0.01 seconds. The community shifts them. Summaries exist. Yes. Oh, I think I went past the time. Okay, you know what? I'll go for 5 more minutes. I'll go for 5 more minutes.
Steady as stone. Time for takeoff. Torn to oblivion.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it more, but like, guys, I really like slow burn. I really like slow burn, but like, slow burn isn't that profitable. So I'm trying to become more fast-paced. But it's pretty hard. Never really thought about being a fast-paced type person. Anyway, at that point, I'm just telling you like little things I've learned. I'm considering like in a few, maybe when I get time over the Christmas break, I'm considering maybe just making a video like, hey, you know, here's I did 1 year of self-publishing. Here's how much I made, sort of, and here's how it went for me. Whoa. Here's what I learned, and here's what you could take away from what I've learned, so that you can also go and self-publish if you want. And it'll probably help the channel too. Like, honestly, it'll probably help the channel. Lots of people are always looking for ways to get their stories out there. Let's see. Oh, see ya, Tarnish. Before I go, slow burns, great. Oh, Tarnish, great, great. Speaking of slow burns, isn't it tomorrow? No, random. I'm taking a break, man. Tomorrow we're gonna be just chatting, and I'll talk about Arcane. I'm planning on watching like 2 or 3 episodes tomorrow. So yeah, interweave fast and slow burn. Yeah, well, see, you say it, right? But like, actually, for me, actually doing it is a little bit tough, because like whenever I do fast, I just feel like, well, I think part of it has to do with the way I write. Like, I can't just say character A and character B, you know, we talked about this particular topic. Like, in my mind, I want to write out the entire conversation, and then, because I want to know what exactly they talked about. And then that leads into a situation where it's like, okay, well, this turned into like pretty much 10 pages of rambling. No one wants to read this. So it's actually happened on a few of the books where I've written out like a whole 10,000 words of an event, and then I'm thinking like, this is a lot of meandering, and then I ultimately summarize it, but then I feel so bad because it's like I've spent so much time working on that conversation. So yeah, that's been like a challenge I've been trying to overcome. I can't summarize things without actually doing the whole conversation either in my head or in writing. But I'm slowly becoming better at it. Like, sometimes I spot some conversations that are take a little bit too long, and I'm able to cut them down a little bit. But it doesn't change that I first have to go through the entire conversation before realizing what I can cut away and what I can't. Anyway.
Think you can get away?
Yeah. That's one of the lessons learned. for me, anime is important since there are a lot of scenes in manga that are hard to interpret on a black and white panel. Examples can be Tokyo Ghoul scenes and One Piece to an extent with the clutter. I agree with that, man. I agree with that. Do Japanese people actually like people in anime and make weird grunting noises? Well, I remember that one time that we were talking about Lisa's VA, and we saw there was that one video of Lisa's VA for Genshin playing the game, and she was making the similar sounds to Lisa, right? And it's like, okay, like some people do make these little groans. But yeah, I don't know.
No, my sword. Steady as stone.
Let's see. Did you act like people in anime? Let's see. My friends have talked about Arcane, but I have yet to watch it. Yeah. Like, everyone's talking about Arcane. So, that's what... And Ty ultimately wants me to watch it, right? And so far, it's been... The first episode was, I think, alright. So, definitely high quality, and I'll watch the next 2 episodes without problem. Let's see. I doubt they'll do the grab. Only a very few would probably do it. Yeah, only a few would. But when they do, it does sound quite animated. Let's see. Will your works enter in public domain when your works turn 50 years? I guess so. That's the law, right? Like, copyright expires after a certain point of time. I mean, like, at that point, like, if it's 50 years from now, I 100% would republish just to keep copyrights on the new editions or whatever. I'm pretty sure that's a tactic people use. You know, I started watching the streams around this time last year. Oh, Mark. Excellent. Mark, what a wonderful year. Good night, Matt. I doubt they'll do the grunt noise. Look, let's see. Reaches his hand out. I'm a little tied up now. Deku's going to be left hanging unless someone unties Aoyama. Oh my god, if that's actually happening in the chat, I'm going to make that joke, man. I'll 100% credit you, though, White Despair. If someone real, I'd be concerned, yes. It helps maintain cohesion. Oh, yeah, speed, yeah. How do you get 100% complete so easy? Just have one area at 100 next. I'm not too sure, Mega. I just kind of like run around. I don't have my areas in 100% actually. If you were to look at my areas, like, yeah, I'm at 21 here, 75, 50, 74, 22. Yeah, I'm not really all that interested in getting these areas completed. Like, the ones I do have completed are the areas I tend to walk around in a lot. Mind you, that's after like what, a year of playing? That's where I've gotten. Like, it's not great.
Time for takeoff. May my final stand be a monument.
And yet, going rogue, the spoilers were out. Yes.
Ring cutter. No, my sword.
Let's see.
Now you shall perish.
Mr. Krabs gonna beat and give you milk cookies. Okay, anime isn't real life. Even the language used in anime can be wrong to an extent. Let's see. How do you get when I put that? Let's see. Mark Hamill voice acts as Joker. Ooh, the Joker. He terrified the cast. Yes, he did. Let's see. Rai Tanaka has a wide range of voices, but her Lisa one is oof. Okay. Let's see. Create a checklist for events and make sure you avoid going too much beyond those points would probably help. Ah, yeah, no, that actually is a viable strategy. So quite a few people tend to do that, Speed, for outlining. People tend to do that. Like when I'm going in. So the way I think about my story, and this is how writer's block happens to me. So right now, like I'm writing four books right now. And the reason I'm at 4 books right now is because, like, the reason I'm working on 4 right now is because I keep running into a writer's block, and I need to recharge on the ideas. So I usually think of I think of the stories while I'm in the shower or about to go to sleep. That's where I think about the scenes and all that kind of stuff. And then I try to remember all that. I go then to the... I go and I make notes. If there's a really good scene, I'll probably write out the entirety of the scene. And those scenes are typically very fast-paced because I'm imagining them how they would play out in an anime. So they usually have like that kind of choreography, that kind of pacing, or that level of reveal, the gravitas to it. Usually where I meander is in the transition chapters. Anyway, when there's little details that are really important, I try to note them at the beginning of the chapter so that it's like a checklist. That's where I do my checklist. But the majority of my planning for the stories happens in my head, and like it stays in my head until I put this scene out on paper. So that's my general strategy. I'm actually not sure if I'd be able to do a full outline for a story from start to finish and have it like super fleshed out, because a lot of times, like with the current one I'm working on, I started an outline and I only really outlined the first act, and then after that it was just like, okay, you know, because I know some things have to happen later, I know I can fit in these other little plot points here. Yeah, I have different strategies for different stories, but a lot of times I go from, there's one big scene that I know I need to get to, and then I just kind of seed the foreshadowing for the big scene before that. I'm not that great with checklisting the way that other people are. Like, actually, I've read some people's checklist, and it is pretty cool how much detail they're able to put into an outline before they even start writing. Like, it is a pretty cool little thing. Let's see. Did you see the video of the teacher wishing for Hu Tao during class? No, I didn't. Is it funny? Let's see. Anyone excited for anime in Japan? Not. Oh no, not in Japan. In January? Not me, man. I'm just so overworked. I don't have time to be excited, Gohan. Pretty much my excitement is whatever you're excited about, Gohan, because I'm like, oh, good for him. Good that he's having a fun time. Life is tough. And it's so busy. I don't have enough time in the day. I still haven't done the Genshin event. I have no time. Alright. I gotta head out for the evening. Oh! Yeah, why is there? Yeah, no. It was fun to have you here, man. Thanks for being here. I'm probably gonna leave pretty soon here, so you won't miss much. Let's see. Oh yeah, whatever happened to that map maker thing? Did that go well? Ah, yeah! The map went well. It was fine. I'm getting better at making the maps. So that's good. Sorry, just to let you know, I make the maps for, like, when they go into cities, but then, like, I switched to doing, like, hand-drawn, like, as if the character kind of drew it, not for, like, city maps, but, like, if he's in a dungeon, I just do a hand-drawn map for the dungeon, just because it's easier than, and it's super abstract, like a blueprint, so I do it like that for some of the other maps, but yeah, the maps were accepted well enough, and no one really complained. The book that was in had like I think I've sold like 500 copies for that book. I think, if I recall correctly. Probably in a year from now I'll have sold like 2,000 copies for it, so that'll be pretty nice. But yeah, it went well. That said, like the map that you saw was one of the first maps I made. Then when I made the second map for another book, I think it was much better. And I did remember a lot of like the advice that you had given during that one stream. So your advice was valuable, because I kept thinking like, yeah, you just put them closer together, and that really does make it look better. Imagine when All For One made a deal with Aoyama's parents, he sung the Disney song from The Princess and the Frog called Friends on the Other Side. Fits All For One really well. If I made anime, I would not put in romance or any sexual stuff, and I'd remove all those weird grunting noises. I'd also make it more easy to understand the story. Oh, that's fair. I mean, not putting in the sexual stuff, like, you're gonna lose a chunk of money, but if it's quality, it's quality. Reading the current release chapter of Goblin Slayer Side Story Year 1, and it has Goblin without his helmet off. Good that he's having a good time. Relatable content. I would use a lot of bait, yeah. Let's see. Let's see. What genre would that fall under? Okay. Like I mentioned, many of the anime are based off source material, and many of the source material is geared towards teenagers to adults. Eager to see the official story someday. Yeah, man, Sarge, yeah. I have one on Royal Road right now that's doing okay. I'm just waiting for it to like blow up in popularity on Royal Road before showing you guys, because I do want you guys to be impressed. So I'm just waiting for it to blow up on Royal Road. It's going really well though, so hopefully it'll blow up like in the next month and a year. And then, like, the one official story, I just stopped it. I'm, like, in the final chapter. I'm trying to figure out how to finish it. But that one probably will be released here at some point. And then, yeah, we'll have to see what else I do. See if I can learn some more lessons from, like, all the other tester stories. But, yeah. I gotta say, like, the first official story, I gotta say, I don't think it's gonna be my best. Like, I'm looking at it, and it's just, like, this just feels like a nice little, like, chill time. and I don't think chill stories are all that like I don't think they can be as popular as like an action story, right? Like especially in harem, especially for a harem, I think chill is not as popular as high octane action harem, but we'll see. Ty says, I would really mess with my readers emotionally. I like teasing people. I'm sure you would, Ty, you jerk. The final twist of the Assassin's chapter was shocking. Okay, Miguel, yeah, I haven't caught up with Assassin yet. But if you're saying it's shocking, I am legitimately interested. Horror, action, drama. Oh, okay, Mr. Krabs. You know, it's interesting, right? Because like horror is one of those ones where you probably would end up with a lot of sexy shots. Endings are usually underwhelming. Yeah, yeah. Like, I think I'm alright. How many chapters have you done in total? On Royal Road? Let me just check. Because, like, I write between 5,000 and 10,000 words a day. Let me just check the Royal Road one real quick. 1 second. I got an alert on Royal Road. Is it something good? Nope. Just someone commenting. Nothing worthwhile. Royal Roads is at... So Royal Road has like... this story has right now... It has 28 chapters and 40... Wait. 40,000 words roughly. Yeah, so for the Royal Road one, I have 40 chapters, but for all the other tester books, like I'm probably at over 1,000,000 words. Like over this last year, I've probably written over 1,000,000 words for those books. Monster Musume is pretty chill and popular. Wish Season 2 came out. Yeah, Monster Musume is pretty chill and popular, but Monster Musume like does have that advantage of the visuals, right? Like you get to see the girls looking pretty cute and adorable and beautiful, right? It's a little bit harder to kind of transmit that on the page. Like I struggle a lot with it. Like I don't really feel comfortable at all with describing girls or describing guys for that matter. Like I'm just not that I'm not that into it. Which is why I started a strategy where whenever I'm introducing a character, I pay for an illustration so that people can see what I'm trying to explain, and just to like kind of help it along, I try to have an image of the character that's being introduced. It's not a good habit, but it's because I lack the vocabulary and I lack the description skills to actually be able to describe them right. And part of it's because I read light novels. If I didn't read light novels so much, I would have had a better time, because like if you want to go look at your descriptions, you have to be looking at different stories that are not light novels. If you notice, light novels are not very good at description. Very rarely are they actually really good at description. So that's. But then at the same time, if I'm writing for light novel readers, then the lack of description doesn't really matter, because those readers are probably in the same position I'm in terms of descriptions. But yeah. Doesn't horror tend to have grunt noises like when they try to escape from the horror? Yeah, I like Monster Musume, but Monster Girl Doctor is good as well. Also, author has gone on hiatus. Yeah, that guy was that guy's busy. Like I don't fully understand. There's this H game called Monster Girl Quest, and I know that Monster Girl Quest and Monster Musume, like there's some kind of connection between the authors, because I know that they've worked together, I think, or like some kind of weird thing there. I've never fully understood what the relationship between those two properties was. But anyway, doesn't horror... Okay, got that. Like removing section would make people more into the story instead of just whacking off. Yeah, no, like I understand that. But I think if you like yeah, you know what? There's no... You know what? If you want to do a horror story, you do a horror story. You actually... If it's a good horror, you don't need any sexual stuff. Sexual stuff just brings in more eyes. And the author Monster Girl Doctor is ending soon. I think they are doing that so they can work on the joint project together. Let's see. Showing affection to each other isn't really a problem, especially the stories I've read. Let's see. Monster Girl Quest Paradox is based. There's this H game, Trip 2021. They probably work together. Yeah, it's like it's the Monster Girls ones, right? I'm trying to think because it's just like I know that guy was involved with the Monster Musume stuff. It's my brain. And I've ever started to do a Fade to Black thing, which means they don't even show those type of scenes, but it's implied. Yep. Sterilized series or sterilized or serialized. Skelly, actually, what is Monster Girl Paradox? You can team up with the bad guys to save the monsters from God. Oh, okay. Yeah, describing a person and writing pretty tough. I think Rick Riordan, who does Percy Jackson books, is really good at it. Percy Jackson, huh? I think we have a copy of that one lying around in this house, actually. But yeah, that was definitely... If there's something that I definitely struggled with when I jumped over to putting words on the page, I definitely struggled with describing the characters appearance-wise. I definitely struggled there because it's not really something you have to think about when you're drawing a manga, right? You don't have to think about how you have to make someone imagine this character. You can kind of just show them, right? Yeah, it was definitely one of those little learning things. I feel like I'm better with dialogue, honestly. Did someone say Percy Jackson? Says Sam. Okay, guys, I went for way longer. So let's get all of everyone's last comments. Monster Girl Paradox JRPG based off of the Monster Girl Quest info. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Gotcha. But yeah, guys, launch off your last little whatever last things that you want to say, and then we'll call it a night and we'll come back tomorrow and talk more. Oh, Prower, see ya, man. Reminds me, I saw a Restaurant to Another World did a collab with a Food Girl Gacha game. After some research, I found out it was an H game. Oh. Overly descriptive would work. Overly descriptive. Read Game of Thrones descriptions to get good. Yeah, that's an option too. We have that here as well. All right, so speed's out as well. Great. Everyone, I hope you all like sleep well, and for people that are in a different time zone, I hope you have a great night. Yeah, good night, Sarge. Good night, everyone. And Mr. Krabs, yeah, you know, some people don't like that kind of stuff. Some people do. It's just the way it works. I will tell you, like, if you go into like a sexy type genre as one of your first like books, you probably are gonna do better than people that don't. Let's see. Percy Jackson books are great. A series on Disney Plus is coming. Oh, that's cool. Too wasted talk good. Okay, yeah, Skell, catch you tomorrow. Let's see. Book is just a list of descriptions, to be honest. Yes. Night to Ty, night to Mark. Mark, you know, always do a good job on the streets, man. Ever heard of a song called Addicted to Monster Girls? No, I haven't. Black Fox. So night to Speed, night to Black Fox, night to Robert, night to Random, night to Speed, and night to Tiandre, my fellow Caribbean Islander. All right, guys. Ending the stream in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, wait. Gohan is a big thing here. My main thing with me saying that is that I was just into that. I wouldn't be reading the stories. Yeah, don't forget Arcane. And yeah, man, don't worry. We'll talk about Arcane tomorrow. But yeah, good night to Miguel as well. Okay, so again, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.